and good morning, my loves. Welcome to episode 13. I nearly said of the Knitting Pickle podcast then, but it's been a while. Welcome to episode 13 of Vlogmas 2024 with me, Laura Penrose. It's Friday the 20th. How have we made it to this point already? Wow. I obviously took yesterday off and oh my goodness, it was the best decision I could have made because I am feeling a lot less stressed out. I've got a lot more done and yeah, I've come back with the vigor I was hoping to have. Yesterday ended up being a really good day. I forgot that I had a nail appointment in the morning and I very nearly cancelled it, but I'm really glad I didn't because this might be silly to some people, but taking care of my nails is one of my biggest self-care things. I had a little bit of extra time in town as well, so I went and got myself a few little bits from H&M. I got myself a Christmas Day outfit, well, a top. And I was going to wear it last night to Mum's night, but I did not make it to Mum's night in the end. A load of mums had to drop out because everyone's kids are poorly, and in the end I decided not to go. One, because I didn't know when Mr. Penrose was going to be home from work, and I did not want to rush him because he's got so much on at the moment and he's under a lot of pressure and I didn't want to add to that pressure. And also I had work to do, and in the end he didn't get home until almost 9 o'clock. So I'm glad that I made that decision and wasn't sat up waiting for him all night. But yeah, and it was good because I spent my evening really cracking down and I got lots done. I'm not finished. I've still got little bits to do, but I'm hoping that will just take me this morning. The main bulk of the work was done. I basically have to have the first draft of my John Arbon design ready to go before Christmas, and it was a much bigger job than I thought it would be, if I'm honest. The pattern itself isn't even that long, but the mistake I made was I wrote my original draft in my style, in my automatic writing style. And then converting that into their style sheet was quite a bit more intense than I thought because it's done very, very differently. So lesson learned, start off in their style. Don't even bother writing my style. If I have to write to a style sheet, just go straight to that. It felt quicker and easier just to get it all out of my brain in my way. But I could have saved myself time in the long run, I think, if I'd just done that from the beginning. But the actual pattern itself is done. I just need to go in and put the gauge and the needles and the construction and all those little fiddly copy bits, the bits I like the least, if I'm honest. But it needs to be done. So that's going to be sent off this morning. And then this afternoon is sorting the house out. Cleaners are coming at 2. And then after school, we are supposed to be, my battery's running out. So yes, we are supposed to be going to Blenheim Palace this evening to see the Christmas display and fairground and food and all this kind of stuff. But I gotta say, the enthusiasm for it isn't that strong. Whether or not Mr. Penrose will be able to even get out of work, we do not know. And we're not putting that pressure on him. If he can't get out, then so be it. I would rather he gets to finish everything up before Christmas and be less stressed than come and see some Christmas lights with us. Obviously we want him there, but this is the way it's got to be sometimes when you're an adult, isn't it? And Jeff is not enthusiastic at all, but that is quite often his attitude towards things. And then when he's there, he loves it. So and I can't exactly leave him here and just take Penny, can I? He also said he wasn't feeling great this morning. It was right when we got to school, so it could honestly just be he's just had enough and he's tired, or he's genuinely poorly because honestly the kids are dropping like flies at the moment. We've been really lucky this year. Penny had that temperature at the beginning of the month, but that lasted a day and it was over the weekend, so no school missed. But so far it hasn't come to the Penrose household. Mr. Penrose was a little bit unwell last week, but again, just under the weather, nothing dramatic. So let's hope it stays that way. I cannot quite believe I've not been poorly at once this Vlogmas. Maybe it's because this year I've been taking extra good care of my microbiome. Anyway, so that is what's supposed to be happening tonight. Whether or not it will happen remains to be seen. it will be a shame if we don't get to go. And I know Penny might be a little bit upset if we don't get to go, but I might, you know, take her to do something special tomorrow instead. I don't know. We'll see. But let's catch up on some Advent, shall we? And then I really do need to crack on with the day. Those cheeky elves tipped out my Advents last night, and the boy elf put the girl elf in the basket like it was a little prison. Rude. To be fair, the girl elf did write a naughty word on my mirror yesterday and put the boy elf in my jar of cotton wool. So maybe that's his revenge on her. But anyway, fortunately they didn't ransack my Advents and open them all. Oh, I haven't bought the thing. So I'm really behind on my Vlogmas watching. I've just been too busy, but I'm looking forward to just like spending hours over the weekend, like knitting and just catching up on Vlogmases in the background. But yesterday's of the Hans Christian Andersen Advent by Camijo knit was It's Perfectly True. No idea what that is. Hopefully you guys are keeping along with Camilla's Vlogmases better than I am. But here it is. Of course, stunning, absolutely gorgeous. It's like pink and teal and yeah, just beautifulness. Really like that one. And then number 20 is The Sweethearts. So I'm thinking like pinky, ready, you know, who knows? You never truly know. Completely wrong. Look at that, we're peachy with a bit of pinky purpliness, but mainly orangey, pinky, peachy. Beautiful. Oh, so lovely. As far as the giveaway for these Advents, it will be drawn from the very last video, which will be the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day video. And then as far as letting people know, I will probably do an announcement on my community post on my YouTube channel, and you have to be subscribed to be able to see that. I will announce on Instagram as well, but I'm gonna probably leave that open until maybe like New Year, because I know a lot of people like to catch up with Vlogmases after Christmas when they've got more time to sit and relax and watch things, and I don't want those people to miss out on entering the competition. So it will be live between Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and I will let the winner know then. What's that noise? I hear that all the time. Is it like some kind of bird? I don't know. Anyway, we have a knit and living as well, because it's the 20th. Only 2 of these guys left. Ooh, oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Stunning. Oh, beautiful. So lovely. And then we have Fibre Fox. Oh, yesterday's was gorge. It's getting really, really good. I mean, it's already good, but it's just getting better and better. I'm going to open today's and put it on the thing so you can see yesterday's and today's together. I sound like that blooming bird thing out there. This transition is getting serious. So, oh my goodness, look at that. So this is 20 and 19. It's getting seriously grey now. I don't think this is showing as well on camera as it does in real life. I think it's better further away. Yeah, further away you can really see like the difference, how we're getting really quite grey now. We had a moment of like lighter saturation here, and now it's going through to, it's like all the colour is draining out of it and it's slowly getting darker and cooler. Beautiful, and some lovely speckles in there. I feel like those speckles are going to get more and more intense. We've only got 4 more days to go. Woo! So I'm going to crack on with my day now, get this last piece of work done, email sent, and then I can clear up the house. That's going to be like a half an hour job. I've been really on it this week like I wanted to be. The kitchen isn't a mess. I've just got a little bit of like picking up to do really. And yeah, we'll see how this evening goes. I really don't know, but I hope you're all doing very, very well. Are you feeling ready? I don't think I'm feeling ready, though I did last night do my food shop order that's coming tomorrow afternoon, and I like went in and like added all my stuff to the cart and like checked everything. So I've got some like kitchen fridge admin to do tomorrow to prepare for the influx of food. But that felt good to have that done. But otherwise, I've still got quite a lot to do. We've got a lot of wrapping to do and maybe a little bit of decorating. I still can't quite decide, but do you know what? In my head, Sunday is like Christmas prep day. Saturday is cat day and just festive relaxation. Kids are just gonna wanna chill out. I'm gonna wanna chill out. We're just gonna like take a day to decompress before the madness begins, because Sunday will be, yeah, Christmas prep day. As far as my dad's scarf goes, I am not realistically going to get it done between now and Christmas, I don't think, without it being a huge source of stress for me. So I'm just going to, you know, put that one on hold and save it for next year, maybe? I don't know. Or just finish working on it and give it to Jeff. I don't know, but there is absolutely no point in me stressing out about that. Oh, that's what I was going to do this afternoon. I was going to go over to Stratford to the place to get stuff for my dad's hamper. Still don't have a basket, but I'm going to have to like dig one out from somewhere, I think, or like a box or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll nip to my florist. Maybe they might have some nice boxes. But yeah, I picked up some bits from the bakery for him today. I got some local honey, some local like preserved red cabbage, because I ain't gonna have time to do that. I'm just gonna like buy stuff. I'm not gonna fret too much about making stuff. I will do the granola because I want the granola as well, and that's such a quick job. And then hopefully a little bit of baking as well. There's no point, I've learned that there's no point being like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it's going to happen here, and it's going to happen there, and blah, 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 because it very rarely goes to plan. So I'm just going to, you know, let go of the plan. I know what needs to be done, and it will happen when it happens. That's kind of the opposite of if it needs to be done, do it, isn't it? I love how that's become my catchphrase this year. Anyway, let's crack on with the day, and I'll catch up with you guys later on. I just received something in the mail. I knew something was coming, but oh goodness. I've just received this bag from one of my lovely viewers. It says, I am a ball of yarn, and if you were with me for Vlogmas last year, this was a breakthrough that I had with my therapist at the time, and I shared it, and it basically, the metaphor was that I was a ball of yarn that was all tangled and in knots and just like a mess. And I was explaining how I felt like I was broken and I was all these different things and I wasn't whole and all this kind of stuff. And my therapist said, you're not broken. You are whole, you've always been whole, you are a ball of yarn, but you've been in knots. And over that year, we have been working on undoing those knots and rewinding myself back into one piece, back into a neat and tidy ball. And that was a really strong metaphor for me at the time, and the metaphor grew, and loads of viewers left comments helping me like expand that metaphor, and it got to the point where the way I looked at it was I was this ball of yarn in a mess, and I'm now this whole piece, and that whole piece as it is wonderful and beautiful. Sometimes we buy a skein of yarn and never knit it. We just appreciate it for its beauty because that thing on its own is wonderful as it is. But you could also turn that thing into something even more wonderful. And I felt like I was still getting to that point where I could then take my core self and, you know, transform it. And the journey along the way of going from the ball of yarn to the garment or whatever it is you're making is a difficult journey. Sometimes you get it wrong, sometimes you need help, sometimes you need to start again. But the process was just such a nice metaphor for where I was mentally. And lovely Ellen, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing her name. I'm not going to share what she says in the card because it's very personal. But I had the pleasure of meeting Ellen I think in February at Unravel. And she's such a lovely young woman who has gone through a very similar journey to me, but she's gone through it at a very young age. And she has watched my content and has found it helpful and supportive, and she wanted to send this to me just as a little thank you and to remind me of how far I've come. And it's wonderful. Like, you know, I'm constantly second guessing myself as to whether I should be sharing all this stuff. It's like, you know, I'm a knitter and a knitwear designer. Like, why do you feel the need to share, like, what's going on in your head at the same time? It's a weird combination. It's not something you'd normally see together. And I don't do it to get stuff. I don't do it to get, like, compliments and stuff or anything like that. But, oh, I mean, it's been a few episodes since I've cried, so at least I'm on brand. When I get messages from people saying that the things I've shared have helped them, it's just the best feeling in the world. I know I've said a number of times how lonely it can feel to have a brain like mine, especially when it's undiagnosed. It just means so much to me. And speaking to Ellen, it's been so wonderful because I wish I'd had myself as an example when I was Ellen's age. It almost gives me like a little bit of inner child healing to see Ellen do so well and find herself and find her confidence and like truly understand herself, because I didn't have that at her age and things could have been really different if I had. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who sends me a message or a comment, sharing their stories, letting me know that by me sharing this it's helpful, because honestly, like, I still find it hard to get vulnerable and share these things, but I do anyway, and that's why, because then people feel less alone. I also get messages from people who aren't neurodivergent but have loved ones who are, and those loved ones can't always communicate how they feel. I certainly couldn't. It's taken me years of therapy to learn how to communicate how I'm feeling, and not everyone has that option. So if I can also help those people understand their loved ones a bit more, it's worth me putting myself out there. It's worth me risking the internet trolls and being the subject of crafts and art. Like, it's worth it, because it's hard for me to explain it. But thank you, Ellen. I've already messaged Ellen, but thank you, Ellen, for this really thoughtful gift, and to everyone who shared their story with me and encourages me, and this is not the mascara for crying, and who've left a comment and messaged me to encourage me, because it's hard to be so vulnerable sometimes, but you guys all make it a lot easier. Right, okay. Let's carry on. just finishing off my work whilst the cleaners are upstairs. I was going to try and get over to the Stratford farm to do some bits and pieces, but in the end I decided that if I'm driving to and from Blenheim Palace tonight, I didn't want to do any extra driving in the car, and I was just so close to finishing off. I was like, I just want to use this hour or so to really, to finish off my submission work. And I've just sent the email. It feels like it was a lot of work, but actually, like, in real life, it was 2 days. 2 days worth of work, really. And it just feels like a lot because it was somewhat unquantifiable, and then when you've also got the pressure of, oh, I might not have enough time, it definitely makes it feel worse. I feel like with this, I wasn't putting off doing it. I wasn't, avoiding doing it. I think it's not that I forgot about it. I think I just underestimated it a little bit. And I'm definitely learning from this, learning a lot. And I think if I ever do this again, I will prioritize things differently. So it's nearly 3 o'clock, it's 2:45. So I've got to go and get the kids soon. And I just had word from Mr. Penrose that he should be able to get out of work at 3 o'clock, which is really exciting because obviously we wanted him here with us. So that's really nice. So we're going to go off on our little journey and hopefully have a very, very festive afternoon/evening. I've been keeping an eye on the weather and it's not supposed to be raining where we're going, but hopefully it won't be too cold, and hopefully both the kids are feeling well enough. So in this last 15 minutes before I go and get them, I am going to get everything ready to go. I'm gonna grab their iPads for the journey, pile up on snacks, get them something to change into, so as soon as Mr. Penrose gets back we can jump in his car and off we go to Blenheim. So I will pop in once we're home from the lights to do a very late night evening segment just to round this video off. I'm not sure when I'll get to edit it, but I'm suddenly realising just how few days are left. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So that's potentially only 4 episodes left, but I may have to put Saturday and Sunday together, depending on what we get up to. I'm hoping to do a video every day until Christmas, but we'll see. Sticking to my boundaries as Vlogmas has been really, really good for me. People keep asking, how's it going? How are you feeling? And I'm like, it's great. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. Like, when there's been times I've had to combine days, I take days off, I've been a bit like, oh, I wish I could, be a bit more focused on it. And I think next year the goal will definitely be to clear all work and all gift knits. I would really like the gift knitting to be done and the work to be done by December next year, so that I can just go full Christmas for the whole month. Wouldn't that be so special? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've not even finished this Vlogmas yet. We're already planning the next one. So I'm going to go and get myself ready and I will catch up with you this evening. Wish us luck. Hopefully we get to the lights. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully the kids don't hate it.
Jingle them bells and frolic. Oh, by gosh, some stolly. Eggnog, gin and tonic make Yuletide gay and jolly. Same procedure every year, I just can't get enough. I drink till Rudolph reappears, a toast to him, that red-nosed dear. Jingle them bells and frolic, it's the best day of the year. Come fly with me now, Rudy. I'm loaded. and
My
minutes.
loves, welcome to the evening segment, and I have a pile of washing here to keep me company because it needs to be done, and I am really looking forward to starting my weekend clear and fresh. The big chunk of work is done. I do still have a little few things that need to be done, but I'll probably tackle those as and when I feel like it. And yeah, I've just got this one pile of laundry, but I've got another load in the washing machine, and I really want to avoid having a great big giant pile at any point over Christmas. So I'm going to do as much as I can to get all the washing done before Christmas, and then we can ignore it for a few days. I am absolutely exhausted, but I am feeling so happy. I'm feeling so festive, and I think a similar thing happened last year when we had our Christmas lights trip. I was feeling a bit like blur, a bit overwhelmed, a bit anxious about the next few days, and we actually almost missed it last year, but we went and we had such a good time. And honestly, this time round, it was absolutely fantastic. I was really doubting myself earlier, like almost regretting my decision. It's like it's the last day of school, everyone's knackered, everyone's tired, it's raining, is this going to be worth it? It's a long way to drive, but it was worth every second. It was just so good. It took us 40 minutes to drive there, but the traffic was really clear. And it was a lovely drive through some really beautiful Cotswoldy villages. And the whole Christmas extravaganza, can't say that word, extravaganza, at Blenheim Palace itself was exactly what it sounds like. It was one of the best light trails I've ever seen. It was wonderful. My favourite bit was this moment where you were walking through like a wooded path, and each tree had lights on that kind of like went up and down like that, and each tree had its own speaker and each tree had its own voice, and they were singing, oh, what was the song? I used to sing it in choir as a child, well, as a young adult, and it would always make me cry. It's a Coventry carol. It goes like Lule, Lule, my little tiny child. I think that's the Coventry carol. I'm not sure, but that one, and it just always just made me feel something, that song, and singing it in a choir in Coventry Cathedral itself and in other places. I just loved it, and it was that song, and it literally felt like the trees were singing to you. Everyone was just walking through. I was like, guys, stop, experience this, listen. Oh, it was so magical, honestly, just fantastic. And even though I had like loaded the kids up with snacks and everything before we left, they were still quite hungry. Fortunately, halfway round by like the fountains and everything was a bar and a churro stand. So we basically had churros for dinner. It's only one night. So we loaded up on churros, which was nice because it was quite a long trail. We were walking around it for ages. So it was nice to stop and have a little bit of nourishment and carry on. But there was a whole fairground and the kids went on the rides. We all went on the carousel, even Mr. Penrose, which was fantastic. There was also like a marketplace, which we didn't go around because it just wasn't the kids' vibe at all, but I would have loved to have looked around the market. And there was also an ice rink, which Penny really, really wanted to do, but it probably would have added like another hour onto our trip, and we were pushing it as it was with their kind of energy levels. But she was really keen to give it a go, so we might look into doing that maybe between Christmas and New Year, or before they go back to school. Because there are loads of ice rinks near us. Like there's one in Cov, there's one in Tamworth, they're like everywhere. I even think there's one at Warwick Castle, so maybe we'll look into that. But it was lovely. And then we finished our trip with a go on the giant Ferris wheel, which in hindsight was quite pointless because it was dark. So you really couldn't see much. You couldn't even see the light trail really from the Ferris wheel, just the fairground, which was still fun and the kids enjoyed it, but definitely would have been better in the day. I'm glad we got our money back for the Smeds and Smoosh trip because, my lord, it was expensive. Like everything there, like the food, the rides, like the fairground rides were effectively like £3 each, which is a lot. Normally you're like £1, maybe £1.50, but blimey. And yeah, the food and beverages and everything were expensive. So if you are going to go with like the kids, I would definitely recommend taking like a packed dinner or packed lunch or something. Like take plenty of sustenance because yeah, it was expensive, but fortunately we had that money back and it was worth it. We all had such a good time. I was like went full inner child mode and was just skipping around and laughing and singing with the kids and just beaming the whole way round. And then the journey back was fine, and they're just having some downtime now before they transition to bed. We were back even before 8 o'clock, so that was great. And yeah, I am absolutely pooped. And do you know what I'm going to do this evening? I am probably going to edit this video because I would like to start afresh tomorrow. And you know, when I'm not putting pressure on myself, when it's just my choice to do it, I really enjoy editing. And I think Mr. Penrose will probably like to switch off tonight by playing some of his games, so he can do that and I'll snuggle next to him and edit. I feel like I'm finally ready to get truly festive and I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Nothing much planned, just see where it takes us and just enjoy some quiet family time. And of course I'm going to bring you along with me. So I'm going to sign this off here. And I'm going to wish you all a very happy weekend, very Merry Christmas. Thank you for being here as always. I would love to know what you're looking forward to over this next week. I know that not everybody celebrates Christmas, not everybody does it the same. There are so many wonderful holidays and celebrations this time of year, and I'd love to know what you're looking forward to the most. I find, like, obviously I love Christmas Day and I love all of that, but it's all for the kids and I love it because it's so magical for them, but it's a lot of work for me. So around this time of year, I think the thing I look forward to the most now is the bit between Christmas and New Year, where everybody just relaxes and rejuvenates and rests and spends time together. That's what I really like about this time of year, I think. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most, though I am looking forward to like every other part of it. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.